The Innovators Network.
Welcome to the Killer Innovation Show, the longest continuously produced podcast in history. Each week, Phil McKinney brings you the insights and strategies to amplify your creativity and innovation skills. Here's your host, Phil McKinney.
Welcome to this week's show. It is that time of year as we're into spring. I recently was asked to give a commencement speech to ITU. ITU is the International Technological University based in Silicon Valley. It confers both master's and PhD degrees. One of my staff from HP is a professor at ITU, so I participate in programs with students throughout the year at ITU. And this year they asked me to participate as the commencement speaker for the commencement ceremony here at the end of the school year. So gladly agreed. Topic for this commencement speech was really answering the question, what is the biggest barrier to innovation? What is the biggest barrier to innovation? And as a commencement speaker, your biggest fear is will your speech have any kind of impact? And will they even remember, given the excitement of finishing their degrees and the ceremony and etc.? So I'll let you be the judge of that. But I wanted to share with you because I think the topic is very appropriate for the topics that we discuss here on this show. So again, the topic for this speech is, what is the biggest barrier to innovation? So before we hop into this week's episode, got that favor to ask. Follow, like, and share. Follow us on social media. Like this show wherever you get it. Give us a rating. Give us a thumbs up. Give us comments. And then share it. Share it with others so others become aware of the Killer Innovation Show. And with that, let's jump in to this week's episode.
This episode is sponsored by Zoom. With Zoom, you can streamline your communication, collaboration, and creativity all in one place. Zoom is the market-leading platform that provides video meetings, voice, webinars, and chat across desktops, phones, tablets, and conference room systems. To learn more about Zoom and sign up for your free account, visit killerinnovations.com/Zoom.
Episode. Well, thank you for having me today. I really do appreciate this opportunity to speak with you. My entire career has been built around innovation. And one of the common questions that I get asked is what is the biggest barrier to innovation? And it comes down to one simple word, and that is fear. So what is fear? Fear is defined as really that unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or is a threat. As humans, we can take fear, and by dwelling on it, we can come up with an unlimited number of what-ifs and corresponding negative outcomes. Fear builds on fear. And as a result of that, fear gets built up to being way out of proportion. Do you know what fear really stands for? What fear really stands for is false evidence that appears real. FEAR. Our brains have the ability to take false evidence and twist it into the worst potential outcome, to the point of making it appear real, which can be paralyzing. Why? Because we strive to be perfect, and that fear of failure in our mind is the opposite of perfection, and therefore it's not acceptable. We are afraid of not being perfect, of not being the perfect boss, not being the perfect employee, not being the perfect spouse, or the perfect parent. And leading up to this day, the fear of not being the perfect student. So we prioritize all of our efforts to avoid not being perfect. Well, headline, nobody is perfect. Failure is part of life, and we all fail. We have all, Everyone in this event has experienced failure. And guess what? Will continue to experience failure. You cannot avoid it. The most successful people have learned not to fear failure. They have become comfortable with failure for what it is. It's an education. Failure is an opportunity to learn. Every person we look up to has had major failures. Some of them would even consider some of their failures to be career enders. But those failures did not end careers. So, how do you address and control your fear? Some would say you need to be brave and you need to fight fear, and it's the cowards who fall victim to their fears. So, be brave. Do you know what the opposite of bravery is? Not cowardice. The opposite of bravery is conformity. Doing everything the same way that everybody else does it. Being like everybody else. Thinking the same way everybody else does. By doing what everyone else does, our hope is to avoid failure. But failure is not something you can avoid, no matter how much you conform to what others are doing. Taking what we think is the safe approach actually puts us at more risk. It takes bravery to step out and leave the warm space of conformity and to try something new. Let's be honest, conformity is comfortable. You know what to expect. You conform to the norms of the office. You conform to the norm of school. It is predictable. The problem is the world out there is changing, whether we're ready for it or not. And conformity is not preparing you or I to compete and succeed. What constitutes success in the future is not the same thing that defined success in the past. When I started my career, success was defined as doing the tasks that our boss assigned to us, doing those well, then getting our performance review, getting our 2 to 3% pay increase every year, then wake up every morning and repeat, and then repeat it every day for the next 30 years of our career. In the new creative economy that we are moving towards, the definition of success is different. The definition of success in the creative economy is your ability to create ideas that create significant value for the organizations that you are part of. The days of just being a cog in the wheel and doing what other people tell you to do are not where value will be created in the future. Value and success will come to those that are creative, that use your ingenuity to create ideas to solve problems. And this creative economy is coming much, much faster than any of us predicted. The ability for any economy to succeed is going to be based on its citizens embracing this coming creative economy and learning how to take natural ability that we all have and use creative thinking, ingenuity to solve problems and identify new opportunities. Your work and success here at ITU have prepared you to be leaders in this coming creative economy. But not everyone has taken the steps you have. They have not prepared themselves for the future. In a recent study, only 25% of the population believe they are creative and applying it to create value for their organizations. Therefore, 75% of the world's population do not see themselves as creative and are not ready to compete in the creative economy. What does that say about our economic future when only 25% of the workforce is ready? Just by completing your studies at ITU, you are part of the 25% and created a competitive advantage for yourself. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. I'm not that pessimistic. I think we have a bright and exciting future. Why? Because of you and my grandkids. You, because of the hard work you did to get here today, and my grandkids. I have 5 of them. Yes, I know. I've been told I look pretty good for a grandfather of 5. My grandkids are the perfect example of being highly creative. I'm amazed at how many different ways they can take a toilet paper roll and turn it into some creative toy. They have no limits to their imagination. Why? Because they don't care what you think about them. They have no concept yet of conformity. They are not looking for acceptance. They already have it. In their minds, when they do something incredibly cute and funny, they don't see you laughing at them, but instead, they see our joy in what they have created. They don't understand yet the concept of conformity. They are exploring. They are experimenting. They aren't letting others tell them how to think or how to act or what to wear or what should make them happy. They are avoiding the conformity trap. And we all need to do whatever we can to protect ourselves, our kids, and our grandkids from this trap. So why do 75% of the population think they are not able to contribute to the creative economy? Because they don't see being creative, being innovative, as being normal. Creativity and innovation requires risk, and the risk of failure is not comfortable. And being uncomfortable and taking risk is something 75% of the population will do anything to avoid. It takes a lot to step out and share our ideas and share our creativity. We as a society need your human ingenuity and creativity to solve some of our biggest problems and create the opportunities of the future. It was creativity and human ingenuity that came up with the polio vaccine. It was creativity that put the man on the moon. It was creativity under pressure that saved the Apollo 13 astronauts and brought them home safely. And it was creativity that invented the microprocessor, which was enabled the electronics that we are all carrying around in our pockets. If you think about the level of impact creativity thinking has had on our daily lives, it is immeasurable. The biggest barrier to unleashing human creativity is fear. If you remember one thing from my remarks today, remember what fear stands for. False evidence that appears real. So why am I such a strong believer in this message? I've been fortunate in my career. I've experienced success way beyond what I could have anticipated growing up during the tough times of Chicago in the 1960s. And what I realized was that my success wasn't because of some special gift or intelligence or special skill. So what was my secret? The secret I discovered to a successful career is 1, do not let fear and conformity control you. And 2, take risks. Take risks and use your natural creative ability to solve problems and create opportunities. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Find that creative courage and be brave. And remember, bravery is not the opposite of cowardice. Bravery is the opposite of conformity. You taking the step and getting your degree is the perfect example of not conforming. Congratulations on your success. You are prepared to be the innovation leaders we need. So go lead. Thank you. Thanks for hanging in there with this week's show. Hopefully you got something out of that commencement speech. I am a firm believer that the biggest barrier to innovation that holds people back is that fear and conformity, not wanting to look stupid, the not wanting to stand out, wanting to kind of fit in. And then the fear of judgment, the fear of criticism, the fear of failure. So hopefully you find this as an encouragement. Do not let fear and conformity hold you back. Take those risks. Take your idea. Push forward with it. And look, we've all had failures. We've all survived those failures. So you should not be afraid of them. They are just a natural part of life. And I wish you the best of success in whatever idea you're working on, the innovation that you're developing, that use and solving of problems, and inventing something that will have a transformative effect on society. As we wrap up this week's show, thank you for your time. Really do appreciate you spending the time with us. Love to hear your feedback. Drop us a note, put a comment over in the show notes, post over wherever you get your podcast. We will eventually find it. Or just drop me an email, phil@killerinnovations.com. And with that, thanks a lot. Have a great, great week. Spend that time, work on your ideas, push forward, and don't be afraid to share. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Podcasting nonstop since 2005, this has been the Killer Innovation Show on the Innovators Network.
This show is distributed by the Innovators Network. For more information and other great shows and content, visit theinnovators.network.